All right, Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles, a great millstone that rule with honor, with diligence, honesty, brothers out there pushing this truth and sincerity to wake up the elect. Peace be to the elect and their families, those believers out there. May the Spirit continue to be with you and keep you all. This is just a quick testimony. I guess, I've been dealing with the car demon for the last couple of weeks. Every now and again, a demon specifically to mess with your vehicle, you know, attacks you, man. But it's a long big story. I ain't gonna get into all of it, but just the specifics. Recently, my alternator on my car just went out, and it turned out, the battery was going out. Um, the battery from the store was going out or whatever, and I just I got a new battery, and then 3 months later that one went out. You know, then I got a new battery, and 3 months later that went out. I guess it was that hard winter that just passed. It was like a cold, real cold, a couple of cold snaps that came through and just took my battery out. But it was the same battery that was factory on the car. So things in this world are not built to last forever. But when it got a battery, that battery went out 3 months later. When it got another battery for an insurance, that battery went out 3 months later. And then when I went to get another battery, they were like, well, you can't get another one. You can't. I was like, well, something ain't right with this battery. It's been 3 months. Both times I got a battery, blah, blah, blah. And so the manager was like, yeah, give him a battery, but it was a fucking Mo. That's another story. Fuck these Mo's, man. These alphabet people, man. These lettermen. Fuck them, man. The manager told him, hey, just get him another battery. He'll just give you his phone number and give him another battery. This motherfucker get to asking questions. Well, what? This and that and blah. Well, you already turned the battery in for insurance already once, so unfortunately, we can't do it again. I said, but what did your manager just say? You know, that just shows you that these fucking moles, they got the spirit of Satan on them, man. You know, and it was a whole big thing. I had to call the corporate office. That brother Ayash, I was on the phone. You don't be on the phone venting to another brother. That brother heard me out. Then was just like, shit, man, call corporate on their ass. And I ended up calling corporate and getting another battery call on you. How about Shimi Al Shai for putting in that brother's spirit to say that, the elder. But yeah, man. Turns out they were giving me the wrong battery. My alternator went out. So, I got the new battery called Lawyer How about Shimi Al Shai. Didn't have to pay for it. Um, um, Turns out they were giving me the wrong battery, so it overworked the alternator, which made the alternator go out. Now this is, the part where, it's irrelevant, man. Like, so, the car I have it's got the stop start feature, so you got to get a different alternator, which I had purchased the alternator online, for a couple $100, but it turns out that there was the delay, and they said, well, it's in back stock. Tell them when you're gonna receive it, this and that. And I remember they said when the tariffs hit, the first thing you're gonna start seeing is import car parts. Because a lot of people don't buy American cars anymore. A lot of people buy foreign cars over American cars. You know, every night, you see American cars, of course, but you see a lot of people converting over. Or some people may have a American car, but then have a foreign car too. You know, so I'm calling around everywhere to get this alternator for the car. Nobody had it. I'm talking about Napa, Advanced Auto, O'Reilly, AutoZone. Nobody had it. And that's nowhere in the country. you know. So, eventually I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna call the dealership. I know they're gonna be taxing, right? Mind you, I had already ordered the part on Amazon for $250, but it was on backstock, it was on delay. So it's your car, you need your car. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll just get another one, and then when this one comes in, I'll send it back, get the money back. I go into the dealership, and I was like, yeah, I need an alternator. I got such and such car, this and that, and they were like, yeah, it's going to run you about 800. And I was like, 800, man. I was like, online it's like 250. He was like, I know, but it's like due to a shortage because of the tariffs, you know, because due to a shortage because of the tariffs, we're forced to go up on the prices, you know. So I was like, man, okay, well, like it was crazy that like from 250 to $800, you know, just like that. And then this is the part that put it in my spirit to do this lesson. The guy I'm talking to, he's like the manager, right? He said he said it's better to get it now because in the next couple of weeks, these car parts are going to go up by 60%. 60%. That's what he said, man. And I was like, woo, man. So I'd rather buy it for 800 than have to go and buy it for nearly $1,400. You know? He said because the tariffs, he said, and another thing, man, when they shall say peace and safety, sudden destruction. Everybody's saying, well, Trump, they dropped the tariffs. Because Jake is more interested in comfort than the prophecy. Jake don't want the Lord to come back. Jake want to be just comfortable here in America, being oppressed, being on the bottom. You know, not giving fair treatment. Jake is used to being oppressed. Jake is a product of oppression. You know, but hey man, I just wanted to put it out there, man. And it's like a PSA, man. If you needed car parts, you know, especially if you got a foreign vehicle. If you need brakes, if you need anything that you've been like kind of sitting back and letting it, well, I'll just wait till next payday. You might want to get it as soon as possible, man. Hearing that. Now I don't know what the Lord gonna do. I'm speaking as a man, but hearing that from the the general manager, hearing him say that, made me want to put the warning out there, man. Because I have been trying, looking everywhere for this part for the last 3-4 days. But call all your how about me, I was shy. You know, the brothers helped me, to get the get the part I needed because $800. That's a lot of money. You know, and a lot of Jake don't. A lot of us don't have like just $800 just to give up like that. You know, but you know, the Lord blessed me to, be able to get the part, that I needed, and the Lord blessed me like, it was a crazy week. I had a hit, guy almost sideswiped me. I go, veer over so he missed me and hit a manhole cover, took out 2 tires and the rim. So, Satan been really, like this, man, this happened all in the course of what? All in the course of about a week and a half now, So I'm just like, call all your how about Shemi al Shai, because hey, shall we not receive good and evil from the Lord? You know, but the Lord will make a way, man. The Lord allow you to go through some shit, but He'll make a way. My tires were covered by insurance, so I didn't have to pay. I got 2 new tires. You know, of course you had to pay a core charge of about $100, but that's better than 700. You know, So, the Lord blessed in that. The Lord blessed me to get, my battery went out, but the Lord blessed me with a brand new battery. Now the Lord blessed me to get this alternator. So, when you go through these things, man, you just got to wait on the Lord, man, because the Lord will bring you through them, man. But just to put the word out there, man. Like, if you, especially Jake with foreign cars, if you need brakes or whatever, you want to get it now, because even if the tariffs drop back down, the effect is already about to happen still. They were predicting by the end of May that if people were going to see the effects of these tariffs, man. And everybody, you probably haven't seen it because a lot of people are already hurting anyway and trying to budget, you know. But like that manager, I guess the spirit put it on his mind to say that to me. He's like, man, you should better. It's better to get it now because in the next couple of weeks it's gonna go up 60%. You know. So I was like, man, hey, that's a lesson right there, man. You know that, man. Hey, times are going to get more harder, more crucial. You know. But this is pretty much a testimony video, man, and PSA, man. Like, especially Jake with foreign cars, man. Like, they really trying to hurt the foreign car market. Bringing jobs back to America. This whole thing is going to hurt people with foreign vehicles. Because everybody, they want people to buy American. But these American cars are crap, man. Majority of them. I'm just gonna keep it real. The majorities, I've had American cars before. The majority of them are crap, unless you got a nice old school or something. But these newer, these newer American cars, man, they got horrible gas mileage. You're always fixing something. The parts are cheaply made. Everybody's cutting corners. You see these cars, these Camaros and Chargers, people have them for like 5-6 years, 5 years, 4 or 5 years, and the car is look like they bought it from the fucking the tow yard. The car just falls apart. So hey, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna get this scripture, man. So like, yeah, this is 2nd Ezra 16:21. It says, "Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion." It says, "For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the others that escape hunger shall the sword destroy." So, we're coming up to a time that is crucial, man. Like, things are going to start getting harder. And even if you got finances stored up, the price of everything going up is gonna run through your money quicker, man. Everything is cheaply built. Everything is cheaply made. So when things start to fall apart, next thing you know, you're spending money, for something for an expense that you didn't predict or that you didn't know you was gonna have to. So these car parts. From what I'm hearing, these car parts, mainly foreign cars, are about to skyrocket. Only the Lord knows what's going to happen of it. But from what I heard from a general manager, at the place I was trying to buy the part from, that and the part was already high. It was already high, but for it to go up 60% is ludicrous, man. It's crazy, man. Like, I remember, alternator, run you about 125, maybe $90. Back in the day, $80-$90 for an alternator. But now 800 $800. And that's about to go up more than half, 60%. You know, so with taxes, that's gonna easily run you about 1,300, 1,400 bucks. Easy. You know? So it's it's good to get it now, man. If you need brakes, if you need, especially if you got a foreign car, you need brakes, you need, you know, sensor or whatever, you may need for your car, get it now. You know, it's better to get it now. You know, because we don't know how long the price on these gonna be up. We don't know. And Jake need their car. You know, but we don't know. Like, man, the spirit, the Lord put the spirit on that man to say that, man. You know, he's like, man, he said, but it's better you get it now because, we're projecting a 60% increase in price on parts. You know, a set of brake pads, front brake pads for my car is $90. So that's well over $200, you know, if I need to get brakes. That's that's how much, that's like that's like damn near how much you pay for brake pads for a Cadillac. You know? But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to put that warning out there. I'll call all you how about Shemi Al Shai, about Shem Kakodash, the one, so apostles, honestly, brothers out there pushing the word. Shalom.